All right, we are recording and welcome to the webinar, everybody. If you haven't met me already, my name is Deane. I'll be running this webinar, and I think right now more than ever, we need a lot of support as individually, as a community, as a globally. We need a lot of support, and I really believe in this Healy device. It's a quantum device supporting our energetic field. We're gonna we shared a couple of testimonials, maybe some more testimonials later on. I'll share as well as the science. But this is brand new. This is cutting edge. This is the most amazing thing personally that I've ever seen. I've been in the health industry for over 6 years. I studied health and nutrition. My mum is a naturopath. And my first stepdad was a yoga teacher, and second stepdad was a psychotherapist. So I've been around the healing community for my whole life. And this piece of device, this device that I learned about only 4 months ago, I didn't know existed. I was like, what the heck? How do I not know about this? And the testimonials that have been popping up over the last couple of months in the groups and in the chats are unique. It's so unique. Yes, we got to eat healthy. Yes, we got to exercise. Yes, we got to connect back to nature. But also, there's this awesome portable unit that we can all use every single day to support our. And so we're going to be going through that and how it all works, and just to kind of share my story of how I came about it, and through. But one of the most amazing quotes we like to start with is from Nikola Tesla. He says, if you want to find the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. He's one of the most amazing minds of this planet. He's the one that lit the world, with electricity. So without him, we all wouldn't be here. So with that, also another amazing quote, science now proves that the universe and everything in it, including us, is all made up of energy. And I'm sure you guys all agree that at its finest form and its smallest form, the quantum, which is the smallest level, we're all made up of energy and waves and frequencies. So that's why this machine makes so much sense, because it's actually working on that quantum level. And for me personally, how I got introduced to it, I was introduced to it through one of my health mentors that I've known for 12 years. He had an experience with it that totally relaxed his nervous system, and he had one of the best night's sleeps of his life. And I know that sleep is number one. If our sleep isn't correct, if our sleep isn't healthy, it affects our weight, our mental health, every part of our life is affected if we don't sleep well. So I was like, interesting. Why does this help with sleep? And so I did all the research. I would spend hours looking at the manuals and the lectures and all the type of things. And I then spoke to the lady who's bringing it into the country, and I had a whole bunch of questions. My main two questions was, what about the EMF? Are there EMFs in this, right? Because we know that there are damaging frequencies from 3 and 4G, and now the emergence of 5G. And so does this device allow you to turn the Wi-Fi off? And the thing is, yes, you can, and you can turn the Bluetooth off, so there's no EMF. So that's really cool. My second question was around the data. Where's my information going? Information is king right now, so I like to be quite private. So in that, I found that there's a massive 6-step encryption process, and they spend millions of dollars every year on keeping it encrypted. So that was a really big tick for me. And then secondly, I asked, where's the science? Like, how does this really work? And there's peer-reviewed, gold standard, the highest class of medical research done with the Healy over the last 13 years in Germany. And so it's from a company called Time Waver. They have these big machines that are like 20,000 euros, and there's 2,000 practitioners in 40 countries around the world. And they would have sessions with people. You'd come in for $150, $250 for a session, and you'd grab these electrical rods, and in an hour and a half, 2-hour session, you have these frequencies maybe once a month, because that's what people could afford. But they said, oh, this isn't affordable for everyone. Let's create a portable unit that the practitioners could sell to their clients to help the clients in between their sessions. And they noticed that the clients got such great results that they never returned to the practitioner sessions. So they thought, well, hang on a minute. So that was 2 years ago. And now 13, 14 months later, the Healy has now been released globally. Well, actually, it hasn't been. In Australia, it's not officially launched yet. In America, it's launching in a couple of months. So we're super excited to bring frequency therapy into the homes and allow people to experience this type of therapy where, in the 1900s with big pharma and all these massive pharmaceutical industry owned by big corporations, they suppressed alternative natural therapies because it was a threat. So they were threatened them and burnt their records. So back in 1930s, when this happened, all these files and all these incredible inventions got suppressed. And now, finally, many years later, with the emergence of the internet and the truth you can't hide, and is finally coming out to everyone. So now here at home, while you guys are watching a Zoom, I've got a frequency running right now, and you guys who have a frequency running right now, it's awesome. Like, what a cool thing is, I thought, for the future, this is the future of healing and the healing community, where we can self-heal. We don't need to go to other places. Yes, doctors have a place, but why don't we take the power back into our own hands? All right, I'm ranting, but okay, so with the disclaimer, the Healy is a medical device for the treatment of pain and chronic pain, fibromyalgia, skeletal pain, and migraine, as well as for the supportive treatment of mental illness, such as depression, anxiety, and related sleep disorders. All other applications of the Healy are not yet recognized by conventional medicine due to a lack of medicine in the sense of conventional medicine, which means Healy is just really so far ahead of its time. Now, I think that's really important to look at. And, if you have been in some of our groups, seeing the testimonials with people releasing pain, back pain, tension. For me, it helped me with my jaw, my TMJ tension, as well as some tension in my shoulders. Mentally, it helps you as well. One of my favorites, and I'm sure for everyone who has a Healy, the mental balance or the anxiety frequencies, the 0.5 hertz to the ears, is like one of the best. It feels like I've had a couple glasses of wine, and it's just like, oh, it's so relaxing. And I sleep really deep after I do that. Emotionally, there's an emotional scan, which we'll go through. It also affects our meridians, chakras, bioenergetic field, and learning. There's even frequencies coming out in the future that expand, that help open the parts of the brain that receive language. And so we can help accelerate our language ability as well, of learning a language, which is really cool. I'd love to learn some languages really quick. So what I'm going to show you now as a video, if everyone could just please mute their line. I'm going to take you guys through the first part of the Healy. And the first part is the analysis. So this is where it figures out what's out of balance in the moment. So every day, we're all under stress. For example, I went to the gym and it came up fitness and muscle frequencies. It will actually register what's out of balance because I went to the gym. This is the first scan, the aura scan. So literally in a couple of seconds, it brings up a visual representation of my chakras, the energy flow of the 7 body chakras, and plus a report on what that means emotionally, spiritually, some affirmations in there as well. So it's a great coaching tool. That was my chakras in that moment out of 10. And then through that, you go through to the next scan. And I just call it an emotional scan. One of my best mates, when we first used the Healy down at Balmoral Beach, he read the scan, which was one of these, and it said that his mum's love came at blackmail. And 2 days prior, he'd had a conversation with his mum, who he'd been fighting with for 12 months. And exactly in his life, his reality was his mum was blackmailing him. It was horrible, and it showed up on his scan. And there's actually a video of this in our group, and he's just like, what the F? Like, what is going on? It's so accurate. It's incredible. And then from that scan, it does a gentle healing of those areas, which is all about the information field, and we'll get into that soon. The other scan is the resonance scan, and this is where it scans bark flower remedies, amino acids, materia medica, Australian bush flowers, elixir, gem elixirs, the I Ching, Shijandra salts, as well as 16 different programs. So there's 120 different programs, and right now I'm scanning for all of them. I'm going, what does Zach need in this moment? So I add this into my morning routine and evening routine. It's a great way just to check in every day. So up here, it came up, this was yesterday's scan, it came up sleep was number 1. That was the most out of balance, so to speak. For my little brother who has a bit of acne, it came up skin and recommended an acne frequency program. So it's incredible. My friend I sat with over an hour, we had a smoothie, and her eyes came up as one of the programs, and we were sitting there, and she was saying that her vision was becoming less foggy. I was like, what the heck? This is just amazing. So with that, bed rest came up as the number 1. So once you know what frequency to run, and there's manuals and training and stuff like that with the Healy, you then go over to the other app where it actually delivers the frequency to the body. So you open the other app. You guys can download these apps now if you want, Healy app and Healy analysis. And it actually delivers the specific frequencies back to the body to get it back into bioenergetic balance. So there's a full app, there's 16 categories, and as I said, 120 different programs. And so gold program, this is one of my favorites. Even on the $800 machine is so many incredible frequencies you could do every single day. The back ones, the anxiety ones, either you stick it onto your ears, the electrodes, or you stick it onto sticky pads to your back or your knee or your hip or whatever's sore to put the frequencies into your body. And then you clip it onto your body. Like I've clipped it onto my shirt. You can go about your day. You can use it indoors, outdoors, before bed, before exercise. Yeah, just don't do it driving. That's not a good idea. But right now, you know, immune system, there's bacteria programs, there's all the meridians, all the chakras, and yeah, also through the wristbands. So I've got them on now. And there's also protection for electrosensitivity, 3 and 4G protection. There's no 5G protection just yet, but I'm sure that's coming. Other frequencies for kidneys and all these different things. So when I first, I guess, looked at this, I was like, I wonder what's going to come up for me. Like when I first did with my first scan, I think it was like hormones and intestines. And I was like, oh, that makes sense. So it's so accurate. And so once you click on the frequency that you want to do on the app, it then loads the frequency to the Healy. So I think I just clicked energy, right? So that in that frequency program, say there's about 100 to 200 different frequencies that help with energy in the body. So it sends it to the Healy, and from there it goes through the cords to the wrists, ears, or to the sticky pads. This program is about 50 minutes. Some of the programs are 20 minutes. Some of the programs are a bit longer. Some, you know, the chakra ones are 33 minutes or something. And then you have the ability to make it more intense or less intense. So it's kind of like the volume, turning the volume up or turning the volume down. And so what you'll also be able to see is that number, 926.8 Hz hertz. Now, every 10 seconds, once it starts, it will change. So 3, 5, 6, or 700.8. Every 10 seconds, it's reading your body and going, what does Alan need right now? What does Alice need? What does Claire need? What do you need in this moment? And then it's for the first 20, 30 minutes, figuring out what's most needing support in your body with those frequencies. And then the last 20, 30 minutes, it focuses mainly on the frequencies that you need and just focuses just on them. So if you did energy today and then did energy tomorrow, the same program, it's going to be a different combination. And that is because the Healy has what's called a quantum sensor. Now, just like your radio, with the radio, you get the static in between programs, you have the channels, and then you're twisting the radio or changing the programs and it goes to the next one. There's actually a crystal inside of your radio that picks up on frequencies. And the same thing that happens in the Healy. On the back here, Marcus, the inventor on one of the webinars last week, he had a Healy with actually a hole in there. We couldn't really see, it was a bit blurry, but there's a crystal inside the Healy. And I don't know how that works, but with all the science, all the research, it's called a quantum sensor. It's the only technology on the market that has this. You know, we don't need to have a practitioner administer this or, you know, show us how to use this. It's so user-friendly. It's used as an application. You just follow the steps with the videos. And there's 144,000 different frequencies that it chooses from. We've spoken about how the applications. Now, you're probably wondering, like, where did this come from? Is this real? You might have been, like a lot of my friends that I've been telling about this, they're like, I've been thinking about this for a long time. I was recently just talking to a friend and I was like, there needs to be like a portable unit that helps our vibe and, you know, heals us from within. And this is it. This guy, Marcus, has created it for us. His vision is to have 100 million Healys globally. There's only about 45,000 globally right now. Marcus, he is an author, 25 books translated into 10 languages. He, from my understanding and from what I've heard about him, he lives in a castle. All the physicists and scientists and quantum geniuses live at the bottom of the castle and study, and all the science labs are there. And on the top of the castle, he lives with his family and his kids, and they run around. Apparently, he's just a bit of a mad hatter, and he's just saw him on the webinar the other week. He's so humble. He's so generous. And I had the pleasure of asking a question that was like, what's your morning routine and evening routine? He didn't share the whole thing, but he does start his day with lemon and water. So I thought that's a very healthy habit. So I thought that's pretty cool. He also has an Institute of Consciousness Research. So he's been doing this for so many years. He was a monk for 10 or 12 years as well. And so I'm just blown away at this man. Nuno Nina, this guy has been doing frequency therapy in his clinic for 15 years. He's the one responsible for the 144,000 gold frequencies. Clinical director, therapist, expert in cell biology. This guy is apparently able to read someone's energy field and then actually recommend certain frequencies for them. He's just so in tune. And so Time Waver and Healy have bought his and patented his frequencies. And so only Healy have access to them, which is really cool. Christian Harper is the investor. He's a billionaire. He's invested millions and millions of dollars into Healy, and he's really the financial backing. And Dirk was the CEO, and he's responsible for all the growth in the last year, which has been just crazy. If it wasn't for him, we wouldn't have had it here. Healy, in some ways, wasn't ready for the growth that we're experiencing. They're big practitioner model machines. They sell like 5 a month, and now they're selling thousands a week with Healy, or hundreds a week with Healy. So yeah, it's just amazing that we have access to this. Another lady that's incredible. This was one of the ladies that I did a lot of research from, Dr. Caroline McMacken. She does something called frequency-specific microcurrent therapy. She's a genius. She's got lectures in the groups. If you're in one of our groups, in one of the modules, she talks about frequency therapy, talking about sports prevention. So I think she's got about 70,000 frequencies that Healy and Time Waver are also going to be buying up to be adding to our bottom line. But also over the next, I think they've patented it all up. They've been buying all these specialists' frequencies to then start releasing over the years. And I think they've patented about 10 million frequencies. But looking at the scientists here and the doctors and the health practitioners, what I think is really interesting is that some of them are acupuncturists, homeopaths, integrative information field and energy medicine experts. Finally, there was a board of directors that was incredibly holistic. Like, I didn't even know that these people existed. Nutritional science, epigeneticist, phytotherapy, which is all about plants and herbs, energy medicine. So having this as a backing behind Healy, I feel really, I guess, proud to talk about Healy, knowing that it comes from some incredible minds. I wonder if anyone else has jumped on, like to share their story. If anyone has been experiencing the Healy in the last couple of weeks, couple of months. I know it's super early days here in Australia, but maybe Hillary. Oh, she's just started off. She's actually a bioresonance therapist. But if there's anyone else out there who wants to just unmute their line and share a bit of your experience with the Healy. Okay. That's all good. Wait, well, not everyone all at once. So what would...
I'll say, do you want me to say something?
Yeah, sure, Alice.
Just with, I've only just started using it, borrowing Alex's, and I could feel like I had this sinus sort of pain going through my ear and down into my throat, and I didn't have the resonance, so I couldn't do a scan on the spot. But I thought, I feel like I need to boost my immune system. So I ran the immune, I think in one of the bioenergetic programs. There's an immune one, or immunity. Anyway, that afternoon, or maybe the next morning, I was with Helena, who lives with Alex, and I did the scan. And yeah, that was the strongest program that came up for me, was to do the bioenergetic immunity boosting. So I was obviously I had been swimming in the pool, and I actually think I got an ear infection. So it was amazing. I did it. So I ran that program the morning, the evening, and the next morning. And by the following evening, it was already, completely clearing up. Yeah. So it was so amazing. It completely picked up what I intuitively thought what was going on, and it gave me the same feedback in the program to run.
What I love about that is that, this group, I'm sure, is very health conscious, but a lot of people out there are reaching for a pill or some kind of quick fix. you know, so this actually offers something to someone that's not a prescription, that's not anything like that. And I think that's just huge. So that's awesome. Great.
Yeah,
Thanks
yeah,
for
it's
sharing, Alex.
amazing.
Um,
Amazing.
Hillary is actually a bioresonance specialist. So thanks for jumping on, Hillary. I know you've had a Healy for about a month and a half, and you know all your clients are raving about it. What's your experience with it so far, and just kind of share how it's been for you.
Yeah, hi guys. Probably what I will say is, it's awesome having this tool that you can, if you've got resonance, that you can analyze the body and you can basically be told where to run your programs. As one of the things, sorry, I was just thinking where I was going with this, is that what I will say is that when you do bioresonance therapy, what we're dealing with is a body out of alignment in some way. So people are coming all the time with symptoms, but basically one of the important things that for people to know on here is with this tool is that you're treating the foundations, which is amazing. I think that's probably the point I want to get across. So even if you only are interested in or feel like you can only buy there are 4 packages, let's say the gold, which is awesome at the moment because you're going to get a free upgrade. Those programs are amazing. And you can just do so much just by using those. One of the things is not to keep treating symptoms, but to lay the foundations. So, and that's what we've got with this amazing tool. So I find sometimes, like, I'm coming home after a busy day, I just want a little bit of something just to support me and just to help me sort of wind down. There's some great programs again in the gold cycle. Sorry about that, guys. I seem to have a million things going on at the moment. Anyway, thank you for letting me chat.
That's
and
really cool.
All the best.
Can I just ask, I think this is one of the first questions I asked you, is how much is your frequency device that you guys use in your clinic?
Yeah, very good question. The machine that I use is about $40,000. So what we have in our hands here, guys, is amazing. It's gold, and it's available to each and every one of us. So, yeah.
Thanks for sharing. Does anyone else want to quickly share? Okay, cool. All good. I'm going to keep going through the webinar. I've actually got the Healy manual up here as well. For those who want to know the science of how the machine really works, if you just go on Google and type in Healy manual, you'll find a document that's quite in depth. This was a really good read. If you do like to geek out on stuff, this is really interesting, talking about the cell voltage. Here we go, this is it here. Talking about with healthy cells, there's a certain cell voltage, positive and negative, and at a certain charge, you have healthy living cells. And as we age, or as inflammation or disturbance to the cells occurs, there's a less voltage. Less and less voltage equals the cell death. So what the Healy works on is that subtle cell voltage in the cell, and if our mitochondria and our cells are communicating effectively, we can have more flow, more energy, and more vitality. And at the bottom part of this, each program has a description as well. What is the skin? The skin frequent, or the bladder one, regulation of bladder energy control. The skin, energetic protection of the energy pathways of the skin. The heart, energetic stimulation of the heart energy. So that's really interesting if you want to know about each one. And then the science studies, which there's a whole bunch here. If I can get down to the right page, here we are. Page, I think 36. So we've got the pain studies. Make sure you guys, if you can just mute your lines, guys. Thank you. So pain, fibromyalgia, we've got back pain studies, muscle pain studies, TMJ, pain studies, headaches and migraine studies, depression, anxiety states, stress, aggression, insomnia, lack of concentration, withdrawal from smoking, shingles, tinnitus, Parkinson's, neuritis, multiple sclerosis, psoriasis, wound treatment, edema. Yeah, these are some hard words. I can't read all of them. Hypertension, diabetes. So you get the idea. That's a really good start if you're wanting to know the science and go deeper, as well as we have a chat group that we have a paid frequency therapist, an incredible lady. If you have any specific questions around specific conditions, you can ask her. But really going back to the disclaimer with the Healy, it's not designed to treat or cure or prevent anything. It's designed to help get your body back in balance. And we all have things that are out of balance. This helps us get back into balance. I guess the analogy that I like to use with the Healy is, people say I got to work on my analogies, but it's kind of good. So if you go bowling for the very first time, you get the roller guards up on the bowling lane so that the ball doesn't roll into the gutter, which happens all the time as a beginner. So in life, we have things that knock us off our center and knock us out of balance. So the Healy, in my opinion, is kind of like the roller guards on a lane. So like where the ball and the lane is life, and like the roller guards, I don't know. Hopefully you guys get the idea. I'm just being silly. So really, guys, this is all about a team effort, right? We all have a part to play right now, being in this current reality with all the stresses going on outside and this pandemic. We all have an opportunity to either fall into fear or we can fall into expansion or choose expansion. And we all, with this community, we're truly stepping up. And if you're out there, if you're a leader, if you're health conscious, if you want to be connected to a community, if you want to create a freedom lifestyle as well, Healy offers a great opportunity where you can work from home, helping people, whether you're a practitioner, have you been in clinic before and you want to add this as a service, or maybe you want to add this and pivot and try a new industry, or whether you're just wanting to help people, whether you're wanting a side income, a side hustle, or whatever you want to call it. This is an opportunity. It's optional. By sharing the Healy, you also make commissions. If you share the Healy with 4 to 5 people, the commissions will cover the cost of your Healy, depending on which one you get. Just to kind of go back, this is a category creator, so there's no competition. It's not an oil or a water filter or a cleanse or whatever it is. This where there's always competition. There's a lot of competition in the marketplace. With frequency therapy, there's no competition. Right now is the prime time to realize that if you're wanting to be in business, looking at are there other people, other competitors, and with this, there's none. So, the other competitors are the $40,000 device that Healy has. So it's, only 13 months young. It's one of the fastest growing social selling companies in the world at the moment. It's financially backed by a conscious investor. The investor has one of the only Michelin star vegan restaurants in the world. From Germany, they're all engineered in Germany. Amazon tried to purchase Healy a few years ago as well. They said no, they're staying as a family company. And it's the first ever Class 2 medical device to be released as a network marketing approach. So there is the science from the FDA. In America, it's FDA approved, and in Australia, getting TGA approved. The prices of the machines, you're probably thinking this is going to be super, super expensive. When I saw the prices, I was like, oh, okay, that's reasonable. And as Hillary said, even if you're buying one of the 800 Australian ones, which is getting an upgrade at the moment, it's so amazing. Just having this every single day for you and your family to support you is a massive bonus in and around your other healthy lifestyle. They start at 500 euros. Just want to make sure you guys are all muted. They start at 500 euros, and that has access to about 15 different programs, whether it's energy, relaxation, releasing tension out of the body. That's the gold programs. The Healy Holistic Health right now, so if you can see here, 1,000 euros, which is 1,600 Australian, we're only paying for the gold one. So whichever machine that you go to buy, you're paying for the one previously and keeping that upgrade. So the 1,000 euro one is only 500 euros. The 1,500 euro one is only 1,000 euros. And then the top one, which is 2,500 euros, that's 4,000 Australian. That's the one I bought. A lot of us bought. It has all the scanning and all the stuff that we went through before, all the frequencies. The top of the line one is now only 1,500 euros, which is 2,500, depending on the exchange rate, 2,500 Australian. And so with the promotion, this is starting tonight at midnight, going until Thursday in the afternoon or evening. Not sure the exact finish time, but there's also something really interesting as well. When you start with the Healy, the first 30 days that you have, if you recommend the Healy to 3 other people that purchase, they can purchase any of the machines. You get another free upgrade. So if you did start on the top level model, the $4,000 resonance, which is only 2,500 at the moment, and you recommend 3 people who purchase a Healy in the first 30 days, you don't get an upgrade because there's nothing to upgrade to. You actually get a free $4,000 scanning resonance. So if you did start on, say, the lower machine, say like the $800 one, and you sold 3 Healys in your first 30 days, any of them, you get upgraded to the 1,500 euros. So yeah, I probably didn't explain that very well. It's probably a little bit confusing, but if you have any questions, please talk to the person that invited you to the webinar, and they can go through how it all works and send you the right resources. We have groups, we have chats, and so feel free to connect us in with whoever you want me to answer questions as well tomorrow in the next couple of days. We're also going to be running a webinar tomorrow, 6 p.m. So if you do have other friends or people that want to come and check Healy, the same link will be used, and we'll go through pretty much the same presentation with some more stories as well. So thank you guys so much for checking this out. We might just run a few more Q&As and hang out. Thanks for jumping on, everyone.